Paul Brown said to me, son, act like you've been there before. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I just barely got on the field. I hadn't been there before. So
I'm glad to be part of that trend. You know, sun's out, guns out.
How about Isaac Curtis on one side, Charlie Joyner on the other side? A lot of quarterbacks were very envious that I had those two weapons to throw to. But
now, wait a minute. Is it fair that Pat McInally is still the sexiest guy on our team? Is that?
You got me there. You got me good.
Darwin, how you gonna be in that video not represent with a chain? Your tango, man. I got mine on. I'm ready to go.
Oh, that's great. That's priceless.
There are two guys that I think it's a travesty that are not in that Hall of Fame.
Ken Riley and Ken Anderson. Yeah, sure.
Let's put the backdrop on, Jamie. See if Marissa's okay with it.
Yeah, I got her backdrop. Starting the Canadian fan club up here for you.
That is so funny.
My last touchdown, and that's what Joe Burrow's going to end up like if they don't start protecting his ass. It's going to be the next David Klingler. David Klingler stuff.
There's no Spanish speaking people here, very few. So we, fast forward, we go to the Super Bowl in Miami, and the word was the Bengals have two big Mexican offensive linemen. They don't know how to speak Spanish. So I got down there and started doing these interviews in Spanish, and they're like, "Wait, we heard you don't speak Spanish."
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? But I got on the plane one day in an all red Suge Knight suit. And boy, Joe Walters and the liner, they destroyed me. I thought for sure I was so clean. I had some gaiters on, all red suit on. I was Suge Knight. They roasted me.
The head coach was the pain in the butt. The Jerry Glenn, he would thought he was. If you didn't know who he was, he walked out there like he owned his state. And I always say, if I could get a chance to hit him on the sideline, I would.
I'm tackling your ass, Pete. I'm shoestring low on you.
But I got to tell you, you have been stepped on, son. You would have had cleats everywhere.
Well, I'm proud to be a Bengal. Yes, I'm proud to be a Bengal. Always been. I got nothing from you guys.
Welcome to yet another Super Bowl edition, guys, of Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends. This is it, the last week before Sunday. Is it Sunday yet? I think Lisa Moran was asking, is it Sunday yet? It is getting close, guys. And Trish and I, today is our anniversary. I'm not going to be here the whole show, but put our stuff in a hotel, came straight down to the beach. I'm at a lifeguard stand right now doing the feed for us. So tonight we've got Means Cameron coming on from Black Owned. We've got James Rapine coming on about 8:15. And Coach Marvin Lewis is going to be joining us about 8:30, guys. So what a week, man. This is amazing, man. I'm excited as hell about this week, guys.
A lot of fun. We sit there and we see that Super Bowl special video that we did in the intro, and just think back to when we did that last year, which was an awesome episode with all the great ex-Bengals. And here we are this year with us in the Super Bowl. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I mean, when we were making our predictions at the start of the year, I'll give Jimmy props. He was the only one that had us going to the Super Bowl. But we were all happy with, a winning season, 500 plus. This is just this is a bonus, absolute bonus.
It's a bonus, but this team has quietly gone from fan favorite to division champion to AFC champion to on the verge of the greatest title in North America, if not the whole world. So it's it's a special time, and Jimmy, you might be sick of me saying it, but you've been agreeing with me again. This is the biggest game of the year coming up, the biggest win we can possibly get. But this is an incredibly special team. No Bengals team is related with this city like this team, and God, I hope for their sakes things go perfect on Sunday.
Right. So let's talk about, I know we got Cameron coming on here in a little bit. Means Cameron coming on from Black Owned, but Guys, I don't know if anybody, if you guys were at the pep rally at Paul Brown Stadium Sunday, and I'm going to tell you guys, I've been a part of a lot of events, attended a lot of events. That production that the Bengals put on, the fireworks, the introductions, everything they did was so professionally, so well done. Kudos to the Cincinnati Bengals organization. There was not one of those 30,000 fans that walked out of that stadium Sunday night disappointed. Everybody was very excited. I think they were more energized after they left that event Sunday night. Just an amazing night, guys.
It's I wasn't there. I listened to it on the radio. So kudos to 700 WLW for what they did broadcasting it, and you could just feel the energy through the radio broadcast. It was fun. Those all white jumpsuits look pretty darn sweet. And as you said, 30,000 people packed Paul Brown Stadium. What was a 28-degree night in Cincinnati. The team we're playing this week had 3,000 in a high school field, and in the middle of a 17 million population area out west. So kudos to Bengals fans. They showed up all year as they have and filled the place. Tickets sold out in minutes, and you could just see the energy that we saw all year.
It was funny. What was funny about last night, guys, they were doing all the player introductions. Joe Burrow, obviously the biggest applause. Fans went absolutely out of control. Just guess who is a close second from the crowd perspective?
CJ.
Nope. I would say he was third.
McPherson.
Oh, yeah.
This close to the same crowd noise that Joe Burrow was. People went absolutely nuts. Guarantee that's never happened for him before. It's
he's the wallpaper. He's the wallpaper on the phone. Dude's an all-star. Absolute stud. Absolute stud.
Yeah. It was an amazing night. It was cold. It was a really fun night last night. And hey, you seen those guys come out in those white jumpsuits, man? They were pretty sweet too. So it's good stuff. Is Means ready? It looks like he's still working.
He's in the waiting room. Gonna wait. Okay, here we go. You wanna do an intro?
Yep, I got it. Go ahead, just bring him on. Means, what's going on, big dog? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, y'all feeling tonight?
Hey, man, good. Hey, the Ohio River has never looked so more beautiful. Means, I'm just telling you.
Paradise.
You know it, brother. You know it. Hey, so those outfits the Bengals wore out of the tunnel last night, I was like, man, I wonder if Means designed those damn things. I know you didn't, but man, I was thinking about you.
Yo, man, those outfits were crazy. I didn't expect those. Yeah. I love the look though. It's the white. It's like a pure, fresh start here in the city. I love it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's a good comparison. Well, Means, we thank you for joining us tonight. We're excited. As everybody knows, we have a big party Saturday night in LA, but something that's even better is your swag. I'm going to call it that, which is very cool. A lot of people saw it for the first time at the draft in Cleveland. For those that watch the announcement, you're standing there on stage with the commish. So tell our fans, you're Black Owned is headed west to LA and got some shops set up.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're excited about this moment. The city, the energy in the city is just up right now, and we're just excited to be in the mix. But yeah, we're headed out west. I mean, we can't miss this opportunity, to see our team win the Super Bowl, and just happy to be out west. Everyone else, I'm going to be setting up the pop-up shop Friday evening, Saturday all day, and Saturday I'm gonna actually be leaving our pop-up shop to come to you guys' event because I know that's where the jam is really going to be at. So I'm looking forward to that.
You know it. Hey,
we are excited as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, my bad. Means so talk about. We're going to get to the Black-owned partnership with the NFL and the Cincinnati Bengals, which is an amazing story in itself. But I want to go back further. Means, and tell everybody how you started. Am I hearing this right? I think I got this right. You started selling apparel and swag and stuff out of the back of your car, right?
Absolutely. So I can't take all the credit. I'll take the credit for coming up with the name of the brand, the direction, but my partners, Merck and Gil, they were right there with me, selling shirts out the trunk of the car. We just had a vision to, promote ownership through fashion and really do something special in the city. And we started out selling shirts out the trunk of our Honda Accords. And we did that for about 2 years. And kind of like, we weren't able to keep up or meet everybody in one day. And we ended up turning our apartment, my business partner's apartment, into our first storefront. And that was over by Xavier University. And then after 2 years of doing that, the landlord was like, I love what you all are doing. I'm reading about you all in the paper. It's all fantastic, but you can't sell clothes out of the apartment. So that's when we got our location here on Elm Street. But the cool thing about this location, we've been here 7 years now, but when we come out our front door for the last 7 years, if you look left, you see Paul Brown Stadium. So for the last 7 years, just being here down on Elm Street, we get to see the stadium every day. And this year, it looks a little different than any other year. So started from the bottom, right? So started from the bottom with this whole mission to unite people through fashion. And this collaboration that we now have with the Bengals has just taken that even a step further. It's been able to bring people together in a different dynamic. And I mean, I'm sure you feel the energy. Like I've seen you wear your hoodie. Just people excited that we've all come together. It's not just football now. It's fashion, football, culture. Yep. It's given this new character to our city. And I'm not the only one feeling it right now. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
Definitely beautiful. Speaking of beautiful things, and before we forget, we have a mutual friend named Kick Lee, who's going to be helping you bring some stuff to Los Angeles. He's also going to have this pretty cool trailer at our party that actually pops out into a stage. So I want to give Kick a big thank you he's actually also going to be transporting our big burro out there. So there's a lot of valuable, precious merchandise going to be on this setup headed to LA this weekend. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Kick for doing all that for us. A great nonprofit he has. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about that on some upcoming shows. They'll also be talking about it this weekend in LA. So thank you, Kick, for doing that. Tom, you had a question for Means?
Yeah, I wanted to thank him because, I thought a lot of people were making fun of me and running me down, but I want to thank anybody that's in touch with some people call it the Nipper Stadium era or the AFL logo tiger, but, Means grabbed the hold of it. That's why I love his stuff, so, maybe I founded it, but nobody knows me. Everybody knows Means. So thank you for bringing it back into style. Now nobody's making fun of me anymore because of you.
Hey,
that's what's up, Tom. Thank you very much. I actually love this logo, though. I love this logo.
And speaking of that, we actually have another graphic. I'm going to pop it up here real quick. This is, I think, that tiger that Tom saw that just mentioned. So those fans going out to LA this weekend Means, will they be able to purchase this sweatshirt? And this is just one side of that sweatshirt. I don't have the picture of the back. Will the fans be able to buy that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll be carrying our pop-up shop this time. Typically, we bring out everything. But this time, we're going to focus really on this Bengals energy. So we're going to bring out all of our Stripes Don't Come Easy piece, what we do have left in stock, which is the turtleneck and the tees. And then we're adding 3 new pieces in, with being the pullover hoodie, the long sleeve T-shirt, and then the women's crop sweatshirt that has that same graphic on it. So we'll have those items and some caps out there at the pop-up shop. But once it's sold out, it's sold out. And if everything goes as planned, we'll sell out before we have to even be at you all's event. So we can just pack up and bring the whole squad over.
Okay, Means, I got just a couple quick things before we let you go. James is in the waiting room right now. So, man, I got a little complaint for you now. I had the hoodie on when I left Cincinnati, flew from Cincinnati to Chicago to LA. The damn thing's too hot when I got to LA. It was too hot.
It's too hot, man. It really is.
It was fine until I got to LA. I don't know.
We made that hoodie for Cincinnatians. And
That's
it gets
right.
cold here.
That's right.
hey, tell us real quick, Means, as quick as you're able to. Who approached you from the Cincinnati Bengals? Was it Elizabeth? Who started the process with you? That initial conversation with y'all?
Elizabeth.
I knew it.
She's truly an angel. And I know you know this. I saw the video with you, but it was Elizabeth. And, this wasn't just something that the Bengals stuck their name on, let us design it and run it and said, yes, we're doing a collaboration with a local brand. They have literally been here the entire way while promoting and just building up this collaboration. Elizabeth specifically, she calls and check on me. Just an amazing organization, amazing person. And she's been there the entire step of the way. I love Elizabeth. Would do anything for her.
She's the best.
And one more thing, Means, before you go, you sent me some pictures. Here's a picture of, I think people have seen this Mercedes around town. That's also going to be at the tailgate on Saturday, right?
Absolutely. So we're bringing the Bengal bands out to LA for sure.
Nice.
Hey, Means, are you driving that out?
I'm not driving it out. Thankfully, I'm flying out. We have someone is driving it out from Mercedes, and they're going to document the whole process. But
That's awesome.
we want to get everybody taking pictures in that vehicle for sure.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
It's going to happen. You know that.
Awesome.
Well, Means, brother, we appreciate it, man. Safe travels. We will see you Saturday night for sure. And man, just be safe getting out here, man. We look forward to seeing you.
Love you guys. Thank you for having me, man. Who day?
Who day, buddy?
This
Who
is
day?
our
Who
moment.
Who day?
Embrace it. Love it. Let's do it.
Let's get it.
Catch y'all later, man.
Cheers, man.
Thanks, Means. Appreciate it.
All
That's
right.
a great story. That's a great story with Means, man. That's good stuff. So it's
All
James.
right. We got James in the waiting room.
He looks bring him on. Look at him. He looks all professional. Look at him. Hey, James, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, how I look professional. Look at you, bragging about being at the beach already. Look, fan of the year isn't enough. Hosting the pep rallies on. Now you have this beachfront property. I mean, to be Bengal Jim. I can only hope one day to be on your level.
I'm literally in a lifeguard stand that says "Keep off lifeguard stand," and I'm standing right here. So I'm on the stand. If the police come and I get tased, it's going to be live for everybody to see. So. James, let's get it going, brother. I know we got a short time with you, buddy. Tom, go ahead and kick it off. I know we had some stuff for James.
Hey, James, as much as we bleed orange and black, none of us, except for Jimmy, thought we'd be here at this point. And it is great. And as for somebody that was born the year that the franchise came, I gotta say this probably has zoomed right up to the most special team in Bengals history. You're with them. You talk to them. Can you gauge their confidence going into the biggest game of their lives? And for us, biggest game of our lives as fans. What's the mood of the team? I mean, is it genuine? Are they convinced they're going out there to take care of business?
100%, 100%. And I wouldn't expect anything less, but yeah, that's how this team is. That's how they're built. Right. And whether it was going into Arrowhead or going to Nissan Stadium and responding after losing that 10-point lead, that they've had that same mindset throughout. And I think when you say like the most special teams, certainly in my lifetime, it is because of that, because of their ability to respond to adversity or be able to say, yeah, the outside may think this, but we don't really care. This is what we are, and we know what we are. And I think that starts with Joe Burrow, certainly, but Jamar Chase is built that way. Evan McPherson is built that way. And the list goes on and on. I could name defensive players and keep going up and down the roster, but that's their mindset. So I certainly think they expect to win this game. It isn't, we have a chance to win this game. They expect to win this game. And that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. That doesn't mean it's going to be a rout, but they're certainly confident going into Sunday.
The other parts of that is certainly in so many ways, the Rams are a team that not necessarily it's going to give them trouble, but they're kind of designed as a team that the Bengals will struggle with. They like to play those safeties up high, too high. There was a period of time this season where the offense sputtered a little bit, and it was against teams that were doing that, playing both safeties up high. They have a dominant defensive line that makes it possible for them not to blitz a lot, and Joe Burrow eats up teams that blitz a lot. I think the flip side of that, the good news of that is Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor and Brian Callahan have had 2 weeks of watching film and studying, and doesn't appear that the sky is falling. From the media standpoint, and nobody is closer to the team than you, what do you see the remedy for that? I mean, is it Tyler Boyd? Is it a healthy C.J. Uzomah? Where do you think they're going?
Yeah, you certainly would think at some point Tyler Boyd's going to have this huge game, and why not, have it in the Super Bowl? So I could certainly see that. But the quick game is going to matter a ton. I think, the way they design screens and find ways to get the ball into Joe Mixon's hand, Jamar Chase's hands in space, and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are certainly in that category as well. I think that's what they're going to have to do. And the key to it isn't just doing it, it's doing it fast. Because we know what this offensive line is, and we can ask the coaches. I haven't this week. You can ask the coaches and beat that to death, but they know what it is too, and they're going to have to overcome it, and they've done it to this point, and it's going to take a little bit of everything. It's going to take the 2 weeks of preparation and them designing an offensive game plan that's been the best that we've seen maybe since this coaching staff got here, but certainly in the playoffs, because they're not going to be able to continue to settle for field goals. At some point, that is going to really hurt them and cost them, even though it hasn't up until this point. In the other side of that, of course, you could say double Aaron Donald or you chip Von Miller. I don't think that's going to be enough because it wasn't necessarily enough against the Titans. And I know the sack numbers weren't high against the Chiefs, but it wasn't enough against the Chiefs. And so you need some Joe Burrow magic. You need a great scheme, a great game plan. And I think that's going to start with the quick game, finding innovative ways, unique ways to get the ball in their playmakers' hands. Because if they can do that and they can get out to a little bit of a lead, well, then maybe you can run the ball a little bit for the first time in quite some time. And that would go a long way to keeping Joe Burrow upright and go a long way towards them pulling this one out.
Jamie?
James,
I have a Captain Heat in the background here. James, as someone who's following the
Super Bowl excitement, Jamie. That's all.
No doubt, right? No doubt. Hey, listen, you're normally doing thinking about the draft and off season and stuff like that. What's it been like for you? What's it been like for you covering this all the way to the Super Bowl? Is it? Tell us about it. It's crazy or what?
It's been amazing. Amazing. It's so much fun. And I'm known as the draft guy, and I do love the draft, but damn it, I'm glad I'm not talking about the draft. I don't want to think about the draft or talk about the draft. And, I get it. This is, regardless of the outcome on Sunday, the last game, but still, it's been a ton of fun to travel. I've been at every playoff game. I've been at all but a couple games this year. And to see it come together, the vision on defense, right, that they had in March when they paid all of these guys, and it's really come together from the jump. They were really good in camp. To see the vision on offense with Jamar Chase and how everybody went back and forth about that debate and how it's opened things up for T. Higgins, and now suddenly we're talking about the Super Bowl, and I'm like, yeah, maybe it's the Tyler Boyd week, right? And at some point, I really do think it's going to be. So, no, it's been a ton of fun to cover them and to see them will themselves to victory at certain points and respond to adversity. I think that's the thing that this team has done so well on the road. That Titans game, man, it was rough. It felt like they had zero momentum, even though it was tied 16-16. And then to go back, a week later, you go into Arrowhead, it's 21-3, and just scratch and claw your way out of there to the Super Bowl. It's wild. It's been a lot of fun. And it would be a lot of fun if I'm chatting with these players with cigars in their mouths on Sunday.
No doubt.
So, James, let's flip to the other side of the ball. Matthew Stafford's been known to make some mistakes, and he gets flustered pretty easily in the pocket here. So it's pretty important that we get pressure on him.
Is that the wind or is that the ocean, Jim?
That's the ocean.
My bad. My bad.
No, you're just showing off. You're just showing off. That's all. I love it.
But what? Damn it, James.
No, I have your answer. I know where you're getting at. Yeah, it's
just
really
go.
They have to find a way to force some turnovers. I think if they're going to win this game, you look at all three of their playoff games, they've won the turnover battle, and even going into it, right? When they started to make this run to the postseason, and they've won 6 straight games. I don't count that Cleveland game. That's silly to count that one. So they've won 6 straight games. And so to keep that up, I think they're going to have to win the turnover battle. And when you look at Matt Stafford, like you said, Jim, last week in the NFC title game, fourth quarter, that dude threw a lollipop up that you're used to seeing at Great American Ballpark on an August day. And any center fielder could have caught it. and the safety for the 49ers drops it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the divisional round early in the end zone had an interception that they dropped. So you're going to have to hold on to them. And Jesse Bates is playing at a high level. We've seen Von Bell make big plays, Mike Hilton make big plays. Chidobe Awuzie's had a great year. So this team, this secondary, I think they're ready for that. But it starts up front. Can Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard, and these guys get a little heat on Stafford? Because if so, he's a gunslinger. He's going to throw it up. He's going to take chances and trust Odell Beckham Jr. and Cooper Kupp. And that's going to give the Bengals some chances to make some big plays.
Okay, so hold on a second here. Sorry about that. So I'm hearing bet the over on the 1 interception prop bet. Is that what you're saying?
1 interception total for the game?
0.5. Yeah, you're gonna take the over on that. Come on, he's throwing one.
Absolutely,
we're getting one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, for Stafford. Yeah. I would take the over probably.
Stafford. Yeah,
I would probably take the over.
Switching back, James, thanks for joining us. Switching back to the offensive side of the ball, we all know who the heart and soul of the team is on the offensive side. We saw the WWE move last night at the pep rally where CJ ripped the knee brace off and threw it in the stands or threw it behind the stage. How important is it to have CJ back? Besides the fact that Bengal Jim prophesized that Burrow was going to throw touchdowns to CJ in the Super Bowl way back when he was awarded Fan of the Year.
No, it's huge. And it's huge because I think that the Rams, at least initially, and maybe they don't do this, but if I was Raheem Morris, if I was the Rams DC, I would try to put Jalen Ramsey on Jamar Chase one-on-one and see. And if Chase wins and plays you out of it, or plays it out of it, then that's fine. And I would double Higgins, and I would try to double Boyd and say, all right, Ramsey one-on-one, you double the other two guys. Who else is going to win? And, they have a good run defense, so it would slow down Mixon. You would assume on paper that they can do that. And so that's where Uzama comes in. I think he's going to be really critical, especially if the Rams are able to get heat on Burrow, and everyone expects them to be able to do that. Having an extra safety valve, think back to that Titans game. How many crucial catches Uzama had. I mean, there was a lot. He would have been really important against the Chiefs if he had stayed healthy. And you look back to the wild card round and the divisional round, he had 13 receptions on 14 targets. So I don't think he's going to be 100% by any stretch. Do I think he's going to try to give it a go? I do, and hopefully he can get healthy enough to do so. And if so, he's certainly a dynamic weapon that changes the passing offense for sure.
James, I know how busy you are this week. I know the demand you have, so thank you so much for your time. One final question from me. Looking at this team this season, though, as special as it has been, as wonderful as it's been, it's fantastic to watch it as a fan. I've said all along, I don't think they've played their best game yet. I don't think for 60 minutes plus overtime, but for an entire 100% of a game, they have played as good as they're capable of playing. Are they saving it for the last game? Are they saving it for the one that really matters?
You certainly hope so, and I agree with you. They haven't. I mean, they've won all these different ways, and in the playoffs, it's been defense and Evan McPherson's leg and a couple big plays here and there on offense. But it's not like the offense is hitting on all cylinders and is playing at such a high level. Burrow is, but the offense in general is stalling out, and there's a lot of reasons behind that. But who knows, right? Maybe the offensive line does just enough, and the Bengals can hit on all cylinders on offense, and this defense can continue to do what it's done over the past couple of weeks. Yeah, I think that I agree with you with that statement. They haven't played their best game this year, and it probably is going to take their best game to win this one because the Rams were built for this, right? They were literally constructed, and they don't have a first-round pick till 2047 where Bengal Jim will be Fan of the Year for the 27th consecutive year, deservedly so, by the way, Jim. And that'll be, something that they've gone all in. And so can they get it done? The pressure's on them. And so if the Bengals come out and they give them a few haymakers, I think that could go obviously a long way, but I think that could be huge as far as this game is concerned.
Hey, James, I have airplanes flying over. I got ghetto birds flying around right now with spotlights down here, high beams. I'm watching my back, man. I don't know what's going on over here. So,
well, James, we appreciate you joining us. We know you've got a busy week out there. Thank you for the insights, and for those fans that they're heading to LA. You look forward to seeing you. For those staying back, I know they're going to be tuned to all the articles and everything else you're going to be writing this week.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. Jim,
I'm not letting you get out of here yet. Last thing.
Yeah.
Have you done your prediction yet?
No, you're the third person to ask me today. It's Tuesday, Jim. It's Tuesday.
Well, we're having you back on tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, so we get you. But we'll get it, brother. Hey, I know you later. You wait until later in the week to do it, brother. Man, we love watching you and love following you.
I will say I'm leaning towards, the way I'm leaning. I'll leave it at that. That'll be a good teaser. So, right, Jim, I know I'll see you later in the week, fellas. I appreciate you having me, and keep up the good work.
Cheers.
Thanks, James.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Hey, his schedule is stacked up, man. He made time for us today, man. Just an awesome.
We love having James on the show.
I think that's also a first, a guest live from Radio Row. So thanks for James for taking time out of his schedule.
Yeah.
All right, we got Marvin in the waiting room. We'll go ahead.
Yes, sir. All right, here we go.
Coach Lewis, how you doing, buddy? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Man, life is good. Hey, I'm in LA. Look at this place, Marvin. This is not the Ohio River.
What is that stuff behind you? Is that brown snow?
It's not the Ohio River. I can tell you that, Marvin. I can tell you that. Hey, buddy. Hey, I know we got you for a short period of time, but Marvin, man, we're so happy to have you on. We have hundreds and hundreds of folks watching right now. One of the classiest guys to ever come through the Cincinnati Bengals organization, Marvin Lewis, changed the culture here from the late 90s, early 2000s, and walked in and did so many great things for this city, not just on the field, but off the field too. Marvin, we appreciate having you, buddy. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure, and it's an exciting time there in the Queen City, isn't it?
It is. Tom, I know we got some things. We're going to talk about Maddie's house in here a little bit. Tom, I know you want to kick it off with a couple questions for Coach.
Yeah, Coach. First thing, it's not too long ago. I watched a movie that was out called The Darkest Hour about Winston Churchill. When you came to Cincinnati, it was kind of the darkest hour. There wasn't a lot of room for optimism and hope. But when you got here, what were the foundation of the things that you used to change the culture of things and get the franchise moving up? Without those first, your entire time there, but first several years of time there, I'm not sure there would have been any good times to have followed.
Well, I think the very first thing is I think the commitment to just being a pro. And then secondly, just do your job. I mean, we all have a job to do. Let's do the job to the utmost of your ability all the time. And with that, we had to raise the level of professionalism. And, we brought some new players in that I think that helped that, along with the guys that were already on the squad, and really helped achieve their goals and so forth. And a lot of those guys that were already there on the team grew into be all pro players.
Was there one guy in particular that when you came in to the Bengals locker room that you looked at and maybe thought, I don't know if this is going to be one of those guys I want to build on, and then a year or two later became an important part of the team, and you and your staff were able to coach him up, or maybe he just matured in his own way, but maybe a guy you thought you were going to cast off but ended up being a key part of the team?
Well, probably the guy that I saved was Hushmanzada. TJ broke his wrist or his hand that first training camp, and they were about to send him down the road, and was able to save him, and obviously his career took off and blossomed from that point on. And but it wasn't that he did anything, but he hadn't done anything, I guess is more the point. He was just a guy with a ponytail at that point. And and that's how I knew him and that guy 85, having coached against them. That's how I knew them. And obviously he became a pillar of the football team, very strong-willed, very strong-minded, and one of the leaders that we could count on.
Speaking of number 85, we got a picture here, Coach Lewis, and we appreciate you joining us. through our lens, it seemed like you had a special relationship with Chad. Can you elaborate on your time coaching Chad with the Bengals?
Well, I think it was a pleasure. You know, Chad at that point was nothing but all football when I began in 2003. And his career continued to blossom and take off. And, you know, he was football 24/7. And that was the greatest part of Chad. And his lighthearted personality and his ability to compete and get up to compete. He loved challenging people all the time. Sometimes he bit off a little bit more than he could chew, but he loved challenging people. And that was the fun of Chad. I mean, I remember the first training camp there in Georgetown when he challenged Corey Dillon to a 40-yard dash. Or I guess it was 100, because Chad quit running at about 40 when Corey was about 5 yards ahead. And, you know, so, but you know, him and his ability to track the ball, catch the ball in the air was outstanding. And the team fed off of his enthusiasm and his ability to make plays.
Coach, thanks for coming on the show with us. Obviously want to talk with you about some charitable endeavors that you do, which we do with the tailgate as well. Question for you: with everything going on in the NFL right now, the lack of diversity again is in the headlines. I don't expect to solve it right here on the show tonight, but what's some insight you can give us on what you think needs to change to finally, you know, make it right?
I really think that there's got to be a little bit more conscious effort to get more young people in the beginning stages of their career in the right rooms, in the quarterback rooms, in with the offensive coordinators and things like that, so that when those guys move, these young coaches have an opportunity to move with them and be given those opportunities. So I think that's one of the things that we've got to continue to foster as we move forward and cultivate. I think it's really, really important.
Marvin, I'm going to jump in here, and it's not often we have we go a show without a Syracuse reference. I'm going to pop this picture up on the screen. Don't mind the little guy there. That's my son. You recognize the guy standing next to him?
Now I'm going to put my glasses on there. Oh, that's Tony White.
Yes, sir. The defensive coordinator at Syracuse. Talk about a young up-and-coming coach. He's done great at Syracuse with his 3-3-5 defense.
Oh, don't say those words. Don't say that.
What, you don't like that defense, or what can we give him a hard time about?
Yeah, I give Tony a hard time about it.
But all right, he spoke very highly of you, and we had a good conversation about the Bengals and your time, and obviously you coaching with him at Arizona State. But I think that's a prime example of that diversity we're looking for to make up the ranks. And Tony, as I just wanted to mention, he spoke very highly of you in our conversation, Marvin.
No doubt. It's going to be he's an outstanding coach and very hardworking, and you know that's why I'm doing what I do. I also kind of have a little side gig with Octagon to help in their career advisory and help develop and cultivate these young coaches and guys making transitions and so forth.
Awesome.
Jimmy?
So Marvin, we're pretty close to Willie Anderson, and he just talks so highly of you, Marvin. And we saw him again last night. We were talking to him down at Paul Brown Stadium. This guy genuinely respects you and loves you to death, Marvin. Talk about Willie and just talk about Willie as a player when you first got him, and just talk about Willie, man. We love him, and we're fighting as hard as we can as a group of fans across the world to help push and get him in the Hall of Fame. But talk about this, man. You're talking about a great guy. We love Willie.
Yeah, no question about it. A great player, and he's responsible for the numbers that were put up by so many, fine Bengals like a Chad Johnson, Corey Dillon, etc., Carson, Kitna, because he was the guy holding down that right side the whole time where he didn't have to worry about it. And, I can remember when I was told by Mike that Willie had made the Pro Bowl the very first time in 2003, and me going to look for Willie. Well, I found him in the men's restroom. I I said, I came in. He said, "What's up, Marv?" I said, I'll wait till you're done here, bro. I'll reach outside.
I was hoping for a better story, Marvin. Like, you guys ready to go?
Hey, you can keep it real, right? So, but he teared up when I told him. He teared up right away, and that was one of the, I've had a lot of cool times there at Paul Brown Stadium, and that was one of them right there.
Tom?
It's sort of the bill on that, Marvin. Willie's been very good to us, still very good to the Cincinnati community. He was back last night to help celebrate this team and send it off to the Super Bowl. One of our frustrations, that's something we screamed over a horse about, is why he's not in the Hall of Fame. If you could talk to some of the gentlemen that vote on there, what would you try and tell them about Willie Anderson and why he belongs in Canton?
Well, I banged those doors hard this fall, or earlier this fall, and we got him to another step into it. Okay, and I think we'll continue to bang. And it's funny, many people were right alongside me, and so I think it's something that's going to happen. And but to, like I said, to speak to the rushing yards that Corey Dillon put up, to the yards that Carson, Kit, Chad put up, TJ. And Willie was a pillar. When you don't have to worry about that side of the line, you can turn and slide the other way and know that you're good over there, whether it be pass or run. And then also what he meant to the football team, his toughness. And, guys are going to follow people like that.
Yep.
Marvin, we want to, again, thank you for joining us. We have a lot of people watching online. They're going to type in questions, and then we'll pop one up. Before we go to the viewer questions, one coach that's a carryover from your staff that's still coaching today is Darren Simmons. Can you talk about Darren, what he did with you under your tutelage, and how he continues to be one of the top special team coaches in the NFL?
Yeah, I've known Darren since '96. He was still in college at Kansas. He was my ball boy in Baltimore, my first year as a defensive coordinator. So I've watched, obviously, followed his career all the way through. Just an outstanding person, one of the pillars of the guys that I had on my staff, so fortunate to have for the 16 years. And that's what led to a lot of our success, is the continuity we had in the staff. But with a guy like Darren who, special teams, he can coach the specialists. He can coach the other 9, 10 guys throughout, and just does a great job schematically and technique-wise for everybody involved in special teams. And just one of the guys you can count on all the time on that staff. And, when you put together a coaching staff, you need some guys that are afraid to come in and tell you, hey, you're a little screwed up right here. And he wasn't afraid to do that either.
All right, here's a viewer question.
James, you still have that picture of Marvin we had when he got hired?
Yeah, I certainly do. I can pop that up.
Look at this young buck.
Who's
right
that?
here.
Hair.
Wow.
Look at that young buck. So Marvin, I love that picture, man. I remember that interview. I remember where I was when I saw you being announced as the head coach, and being one of the first coaches, I think the first coach ever, Marvin, to be hired from outside the organization was a very special thing. What were your thoughts coming into the team when you got hired? I think you were, if I'm not mistaken, you were the first coach hired outside the organization, if that's correct.
But I was excited. Obviously, I had waited for that opportunity. I had passed on a couple of other opportunities that I just didn't feel was right, and I thought it was right. And I felt that Mike and his family were receptive to my vision, my goals, and so forth. And so it was an exciting time. And those first months when you go take a job like that, man, it's a lot of work. There's very little sleep. And there were many nights I'd be at Paul Brown Stadium. I look up and it's 9 o'clock, 9:30, and I had forgotten to eat dinner. And, at that point, downtown wasn't like downtown is now. And so I'd have to go across the river. It was the only thing I could find over there, a little place, a sandwich shop over there. I would get something. But special time and really fond memories.
That's awesome. So just two more quick things, Marvin. Go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is a viewer question. It ties in perfectly to what you just talked about, Marvin. You talked about the coaching grind. the long days, the long nights, 12 months out of the year. Matthew asked, do you miss the NFL? Do you like college? Is college been a nice change of pace? And is the ultimate goal to return back to the NFL, Coach?
Well, I really, I've only been a coach. My job is more an advisory role. I was a coach in 2020 when we lost Tony, and we lost Tony very late, Tony White, we just talked about. So I installed the defense from the 3-3-5 to more conventional 4-3 so we could get some big guys on the field. I miss coaching. I had fun coaching when Tony was the coordinator in the bowl game in El Paso that year against Florida State. I got to coach the secondary when Tony became the coordinator, and it's been fun. I miss coaching. I don't own a team, so whether or not I get back to the league, I don't know. But I'm really comfortable doing what I'm doing, helping Coach Edwards and our staff. We've had a lot of change, so it's now time to build back up and get back on track to go win the Pac-12 this year.
Nice. Marvin, we're just got a couple more quick things. We'll let you go. We appreciate your time. If you could, we want to talk about Maddie's House for sure. We've been helping out Maddie's House for a little while with some fundraising. They got an event coming up, but before we get to that, we'd love for you to kind of give us your thoughts on this Super Bowl run this year for this team. What do you see? I know you're watching. So what are you seeing from this team? What do you see that's special about this? What's different about these guys?
Well, I think what's been incredible, and it's interesting that they've come back and really won these games in the fourth quarter, and very significant games. And they seem to not worry about a bad play. They seem to move on, and that's kind of the mark of teams that are successful in championship football teams. They don't dwell on what went wrong. They move forward and get on to the next play. And the quarterback does a great job of that, a great example of that. The defense makes stops when they need to. They've had an exceptional kicker all year. So a lot of positive things that have done, and you get the guys that when they get a lead, they apply pressure to the quarterback and they get the ball off that quarterback's hands very quickly. So a lot of special things. And, when I've talked with Mike Brown a few times during the season, and that's what he says. He says, these guys are a little different. That's what Darren says. These guys just a little different. Joe Mixon. And it's going to be a football game on Sunday.
It's going to be fun. So, Marvin, we appreciate you. We would love for you. We did some Super Bowl squares for Maddie's House. We raised actually $2,750. We did some additional fundraising late last year. We're going to be doing some stuff this Sunday to help raise additional funds. But talk about what Maddie's House means to you, Marvin. I know you know Steve and Julie Riley pretty well. Very special people here at our community, and they lost their daughter, I think, in 2019, Maddie, to addiction and help like this. So you're going to be in town here next week, right?
Yeah, I'm coming in town to be at the event on Friday evening. I kept telling Julie to minimize it a little bit, but Julie, she's over the top. So, but it is. It's a what her and Steve have done is for a great cause to give people that have suffered from addiction and are coming out of addiction a safe place to go, a place to interact with other people that have shared the things, the illness that they have, the issues that they've had, and they have a lot of positives there where they have great meetings and ability for these people to talk and share. And, it's really, as she called it, a day center, an opportunity for people to come in and really share with positive people and have a lot of influence on these young people, the young adults, and help them stay on the straight path.
Yeah, and I think we bought a table. I think there's a table of 10 of us that will be there supporting that cause. We'll see you when you're in town. But Marvin, it means a whole lot you being with us. And I'm just going to be very clear, Marvin, that most every fan of this organization, this team, understands what you did for this team and this organization at that time. You will forever be ingrained in Cincinnati football history, Marvin. You took us from the dark decade of the 90s, early 2000s. And when you got here, Marvin, everything changed all over the place. Front office, the the play on the field, and we appreciate it as a group of fans. And we love you, man. You're one of the best, and we'll never forget you, buddy. We love you.
Yeah, thank you, Coach.
Appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
All right, man.
As the waves are crashing behind him. How about that?
I saw the beach patrol going by. He's supposed to probably get kicked off the beach here.
Coach, a lot of people don't know Jimmy's going to be in the next Baywatch movie. That's what
Yeah, believe it or not, the most lowest rated grossing.
Hey. All right, here they come. I think they're going to kick me off this lifeguard stand. We'll see you, Marvin. Thanks, buddy.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Marvin.
Marvin.
Appreciate it.
All right, have fun out there.
All right,
Thank you.
Good day, Coach.
All right. See,
Man,
we learned
fun.
something.
Here it goes again.
We
Look,
learned-
there they go. They keep giving me the look. Not supposed to be up there.
We learned something new. Marvin does not like the 3-3-5 defense. There you go.
Dude, that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Guys, this was hilarious during. I was trying not to laugh, so I had to put Marvin on full screen because this comment came up in the feed. We got a cat in heat, a raging ocean, and some kind of monster truck rally going on tonight.
Wait a minute.
Hey.
That's every Tuesday night.
Never a dull moment. I feel. You ever seen that the guy who mounts the green screen on and carries a laptop around? I feel like we're doing the show like that.
Hey, Tom. Just notice it's the right side of the screen. Our side's fine. It's those guys over there.
Hey guys,
over there.
I have got to go. It's my anniversary. We got dinner. I got a dinner date with this hot chick down here.
Wait a minute. Are you picnicking on the beach?
Trisha, come here. No, we got a restaurant. We're going to do a lobster roll or something. I don't know what we're doing, but
you weenie.
No mayonnaise. No mayonnaise on the lobster roll. Just butter.
This is 31 years. I put up with her for 31 years. Can you believe this? It's amazing. It's amazing. I gotta go. I'll see you guys.
Happy anniversary, Trish.
We will see you guys Saturday if you come in town. We'll see you Sunday. Hey, we get this dub Sunday. Super Bowl parade in Cincinnati. It's going to be outstanding. We'll see you guys.
All right. See you, buddy.
Good day, Jimmy. Oh, whoa. We don't need to be that close.
Okay. While we're thinking about it.
Hollywood Foster.
While we're thinking about it, we alluded to the Super Bowl squares. So thank you, everybody that donated so generously to that. They sold out. What was it? Less than a day, right? I mean, it was like 12 hours in. We sold that out. Everybody gave generously. Let's see, we got a Boomer Esiason signed football, a Von Bell jersey, the T. Higgins helmet, and I don't remember what the fourth one was. I got it written down. Joe Mixon jersey. So 4 great prizes. The one thing we haven't done is go across, and now we're going to finish the board. So what I'm going to do is shuffle these cards. We're going to go across the Bengals way first, so that we'll do the Bengals column first. In this deck, the ace represents the 1 and the 10 is the 0. So when I pull those will be the numbers, and we're going to go ahead and do this real quick live online so everybody knows we're on the up and up. So Jamie, you got a pen to write these down?
Give me 1 sec.
What are you going to do them? We're going to do like a live update on it. So again, the 4 prizes: Von Bell jersey for the winner after the first quarter, a Boomer Esiason football for the winner after the second quarter, Joe Mixon jersey for the winner after the third quarter, and a T. Higgins helmet for the winner after the fourth quarter. With that said, we're going to talk about the tailgate party on Saturday in LA. We'll have another full-size helmet there. We're going to raffle off with a couple of great charities. They're going to benefit from that. You ready, Jamie?
Yes, sir. Doing Bengals first?
We're going to do the Bengals first. Tell me when to stop shuffling, Tom.
All right, hold on. Keep going. Go. You're good.
Okay. So first one is
7.
7. Second one is
8.
Geez, you can see those better than me. Third one?
5.
Just going to hold them up so you see them coming off the top.
10. So that'd be 0.
That'd be the 0.
9. 2.
1.
Ace is 1. Yep.
Yep.
3. We're missing. Okay, 6. And then 4. 4 is the
Did I
last
do
one.
it right? 4 is the
Yep.
last one.
All right.
Okay.
Now we'll
I'm
do
going to
Rams.
shuffle them. Yep. I'm going to shuffle them again. Get a little shuffle started. So again, thanks to Marvin. That was pretty cool for him to come on.
That was
All right,
great.
I'm shuffling. Tell me when to stop, Tom.
You're good.
Okay. All right. This is the Rams. Ready, Jamie?
Yes, sir.
0.
0. 8.
8.
7. 4. 3. 6.
6.
2.
2.
9. 5. 1.
And 1. All right. So that is set. So everybody can go and.
I will have the board updated tonight, guys. If you don't bother going to the page yet to see, I will have it done within an hour or so, and then I'm sure we'll probably post something on the socials to say that the board's been updated.
We will. So since Kansas City, we've been working on this tailgate for this weekend in LA. Obviously, it's a fluid situation, short notice. A lot of events in LA have been booked, quite frankly, years in advance. So what we were trying to do, ourselves and our friends at the Bengal Trailer, who we've teamed up with for the Nashville game and Kansas City, is find the largest venue that we can that'll host the most Bengals fans that it possibly can, and just do a big party on Saturday night. Homeland Security basically has SoFi Stadium secured, and the traditional tailgates, which we're used to, are just not an option around the Super Bowl. So what we elected to do was do a tailgate party Saturday night. We chose the Arts District Brewing in the Arts District of Los Angeles. So 5 to 9 Saturday night. We sold tickets this week. Tickets sold out faster than we could have imagined. We understand that some people did not get tickets, but be patient with us. We're doing everything we can to potentially add more if we can. Obviously, we want it to be a fun, safe environment. So we're working with the brewery to do what we can. It'll be indoor and outdoor. We talked earlier, our friends at the Kick and his team at Cincinnati Music Authority are going to be there with their trailer. They've been gracious enough to bring the audio equipment. We're going to have former Bengals players there, Bengals parents there, family there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you didn't get tickets, just bear with us. We are doing our best to allow every Bengal fan that wants to be there. But again, we're just working with LA, the brewery, their size requirements and things like that to try to maximize the space. Keep in mind, you will need a mask when you walk in the door. You do not need to wear it once you're through the door. Again, LA County requirement. It is 21 and up since it is a brewery and it's going to be so many people. So we apologize for those that have little kids. And third, like a lot of places in LA, you do have to show a vaccine card. A negative test will not work. So you will need a vaccine card to get in on Saturday night. So for those that have tickets, we look forward to seeing you. For those that don't, be patient with us. We're doing everything in our power to add more, and we look forward to seeing you. I know we kind of blew through it early in the show, but congrats to Jimmy again for helping MC the pep rally last night. What a cool event. Our buddy Gary Owen was the co-host who was on our first show. So kudos to them. We want to thank Means, who's going to have the pop-up shop in LA. He'll be there on Saturday night. And man, an exciting week, Tom. What am I forgetting as we ramp up for our first Super Bowl in 30 plus years?
Well, first thing, Jamie the Greek and his prediction for the game. Sunday. He's going on the over on the Matthew Stafford interceptions, but
100%. I'm not going to do a score. I think we're going to win the game. I've been saying this since Jimmy got that fan of the year. And the Bengals posted that clip a couple weeks ago or last week where the B-roll footage they had of him talking behind the scenes, and he said I said I'm not going to go until the Bengals go. And you could not have scripted this any better. If when the Bengals win this Super Bowl, there could be a movie deal in Jimmy's future of how this all played out. I mean, what are the odds you get picked fan of the year and then your team goes on to actually play in and win the Super Bowl? I think we got the game.
Who's going to play you in the movie?
Oh, you know what? Brad Pitt's probably not available. It'll probably be what's the guy that Jonah?
The guy from Moneyball.
Yeah, let's be honest. It's probably going to be him. Okay. The fluctuating weight. If you go back and watch the early episodes of the show and the late episodes of the show, you'll see why they're going to go with him. But
speaking of betting, okay, prop bets are always a big thing in the Super Bowl. I was listening to a show today. They were talking about MVP, and maybe it's just us in Cincinnati, but this odds, if you put $100 bet down, it'll pay $10,000 to win. Jamie, guess what Evan McPherson's odds are? I guess I told you. Evan McPherson's odds to win Super Bowl MVP, 10,000 to 1.
Wow. I'm going to go put some money on that.
Yeah. So if you're looking at prop bets, that was the one that plus 10,000. I shouldn't say 10,001. Plus 10,000 for Evan McPherson. So $100 bet wins you $10,000. I don't know if a kicker's ever won MVP at a Super Bowl, but if there was one that was going to win it, I think Evan would do it.
I'll tell you, if he kicks a 50-plus yarder to win the game, and he doesn't miss a kick the whole game, that means he's gone the whole playoffs without missing the kick. There's an argument there to be made.
Jim Breach had it till 34 seconds left to go in Super Bowl 23. But no, I think you're right. Jim O'Brien won Super Bowl 4. He didn't win it. It'd be great if any Bengal was named MVP.
Yeah, that's true.
Of what follows.
That's true. I'm trying to look here. We talked about Maddie's house. I believe they still have some tables left, but that event is about sold out as well. Tom, you want to start our closing tonight?
Thank you for everybody for following us this season, and hopefully the good times are going to keep rolling through the weekend and next week. I don't know if we may announce a pop-in at some point at this weekend. I hope we do, and I hope it's under the best of circumstances. But whether you're making the trek to the West Coast or have a Super Bowl party wherever around the world, and especially in Cincinnati, keep the positive vibes going. Not just through this game, but into the future. This is a team that is given us a direction, I think, for the next football generation. And, we got their back. They've made it clear that they feed off our energy. So keep all the positive waves going. Very well, Sunday could be the greatest single sports day in the history of Cincinnati. So, everybody just keep up the good waves and cheer loud if you're going and cheer loud if you're at home.
Jamie?
Yeah, listen, to kind of go on what Tom was just saying, thank you to everyone who watches the show. I won't speak for my co-host here, but I think we feel pretty privileged that we're still doing this. Usually we're off the air by now, but to follow this team through all the way to the Super Bowl has been amazing. And we see you guys in the chat every week. We see the same names popping up. We see the same people sharing it. We really appreciate you guys. We couldn't do it without you, and just happy to be on this ride with everybody. For me personally, I think I'm a little jealous. You guys are all going. I tried to make it happen, and it wasn't in the cards this year. But I do feel good that there'll be an opportunity for me to go to a Super Bowl again with the Bengals playing. I really do feel with this team that there's going to be multiple chances for me to go. It feels really, it feels awesome to be actually invested in the game this year. As football fans, we all watch Super Bowls and we all adopt a team that we're going to cheer for that day to see who wins. Usually whoever's playing against Tom Brady is who we're going with personally, but it's just awesome. It's a really cool feeling. And I said this last week, even up here in Ontario, Canada, pumping gas, walking through the stores, people yelling "Who Day." People didn't even know what the hell a Who Day was a week or so ago. I'm getting stopped by people talking about Joe Burrow and how crazy this team is and how good they are. I have local news reaching out. I did an interview today that's going to be on the local news up here tomorrow, talking about what it's like being a Canadian Bengals fan and being associated with this amazing tailgate you guys have going on down there. So I'm just enjoying it. Can't wait for it. I don't want it to end, but I can't wait for it, and I cannot wait to come back on this show with you guys and celebrate Bengals Super Bowl win.
Well, I still, to me, it's not real yet. I think it's still surreal. It feels like a dream. So maybe when we land in LA here at the end of the week, it'll finally hit home that, man, this is happening. We've heard the "It is us" motto here. Thanks to Joe Burrow, we belong here. No doubt about that. But I still feel like we're playing with house money here. This is, I think, way ahead of what we had scripted. Nobody, would have thought we would be in this position when we started the season. From the AFC North Championship to 2 straight road games to ending up in LA, and it's been one heck of a ride and certainly a whole bunch of excitement for next year. So we appreciate, as Jamie said, everyone for being part of this all year. Hopefully have a huge celebratory show next Tuesday. And this ride's been exciting and our future is exciting. And, Bengals fans that, whether they're converted LSU fans that have jumped on board, whether the new fans, welcome. Let's enjoy it. And the future is bright. For those traveling to LA, be safe. Look forward to seeing you out there. For those staying home, as Jamie and Tom said, cheer just as loud, and hopefully we'll all meet up in Cincinnati on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week and ride through the streets in a big parade. So thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. I know our cohort that got off the screen early, he's got a big weekend in LA. You'll see him on some national shows. You'll see him. He's already been in the LA Times. Heck, Big Burrow's already been in the LA Times this week. So props to Craig for that. And it's an exciting time. Enjoy it. Kind of relish in it. And job's not done. Let's clear this last hurdle on Sunday and bring that first Super Bowl trophy home to Cincinnati. So as always, thanks everybody. We'll see you next week. Who Day. And man, exciting time to be a Bengal.
Who Day, everyone.
Who Day. Let's go.
Let's do it.